Welcome to my Brother's Keeper podcast. This is your host, Courtney Foster and Brian Payne.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Welcome. I'm your host, Courtney Foster.
And I'm your co-host, Brian Payne. And we are
my brother's keeper.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That might have been the first time we both was on time with that. Look at that. That's a sign of things to come. That is a sign of things to come. How you feeling over there, Brian?
Hey, man, I feel like money.
Hey,
I feel like money. I feel like money today.
What
you feeling like?
I'm feeling the same. I am itching. I have itching ears to get this episode underway. Have been waiting a long time to shake up this financial landscape, and we have the perfect person today to do just that.
Ooh,
we got the perfect person to do that. We all been waiting.
I don't want to miss this one. You don't want to miss this. You definitely want to stay tuned.
Yes.
I'm telling you, got some gems. You won't get this nowhere else for free. So you definitely don't want to miss this.
Yeah, so we're here. I'll probably do less talk in this session than I ever have. But it's for good reason. We have somebody that's going to open their mouth, and you're going to see why I'm going to be a little bit more listening, taking notes, mental notes, as well as physical notes. Super duper pumped to bring our guest to this platform today. So you ready to get into it, or what we doing?
Hey, man, I'm ready, man. I got my notepad ready. Listen, we learned it today too. You know what I'm saying? We sitting back taking notes. Man,
That's right.
I'm telling you, man, this is really going to be able to help the viewing audience. And everybody, please share it out. Don't gatekeep. We're not gatekeeping in 2026. We getting all the information out to everybody, family, friends, loved ones, everybody. Let's get this information out so everybody can learn and take something from it.
Absolutely. Let's get it. My Brother's Keeper podcast. We're building legacy through brotherhood. When we started this thing, right? Financial literacy was one of our core visions with My Brother's Keeper. We wanted to equip our community with the knowledge, the tools, and the conversations needed to build real financial freedom and long-term stability. We believe money should be understood, not feared, and access to practical financial education should be for everyone, not just a few. With that being said, we are excited to welcome our guest speaker. And let's get to it. Right here, our guest speaker today, Mr. John DeSmedt, is a business and wealth strategy speaker with over 40 years of experience in sales, marketing, real estate, and investing. Having navigated multiple market cycles, including rebuilding during the 2007-2008 financial crisis, John brings a practical, battle-tested approach to leadership, resilience, and smart decision-making. He has represented, listen to this number, he has represented over 400 homeowners and worked with investors and professionals at every stage, building systems-driven businesses rooted in discipline, communication, and strategy. A former college athlete, John carries a competitive mindset that shapes how he teaches growth and success. John speaks to high schools, colleges, business groups, and professional organizations through keynotes, workshops, live podcasts, and coaching. He is also a co-author of 2 real estate books and a 3-time Circle of Honor Award recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome to the My Brothers Keepers podcast platform, Mr. John DeSmedt. Clap it up for him. Clap it up for him.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Greetings. Welcome.
Can you hear me okay? Everybody hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
We can hear you. Yes, sir. We can hear you. How are you doing over there?
Oh, couldn't be better, Courtney and Brian. First of all, I hope I can live up to a small fraction of that introduction. Thank you so much. So, I am honored and delighted to be here, and got so much we're going to dive right into here momentarily, and hopefully everybody that's listening and can forward this will get a lot out of this. So
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for having me. And, hopefully, as we said, this is the maiden voyage of several more of these to come. And, we're just here with a helping mindset. Thanks to Courtney and Brian and the audience here. We want to give. We want to give back. And your whole topic of financial literacy, Courtney, is so spot on, because there's so many that are just a little bit lost on where to go, where to turn, how to start. So let's see if we can help all these nice people out. So
absolutely.
Without further ado, should I just go ahead and jump in?
You can go ahead and jump right on in. You can start wherever you want to start. Real quick, before you get to the money, you want to talk a little bit about who you are outside of your bio, if you don't mind, for 15 seconds.
Sure. I'd be happy to. I'm a resident of the Charlotte area here. I live in Matthews, and with my family, we've been here almost 19 years.
Okay.
So currently, I'm in the real estate industry. I'm a real estate professional by trade. 23 years, and now I have a coaching business and a mentoring business for other realtors on a high level, a higher scale. And then before real estate, I was in the corporate world for 18 years. I was a national sales manager for a mid-level size corporation, and traveled extensively coast to coast. So in 4 decades, anything involving sales and marketing, I've been fortunate where I've seen and touched quite a bit of it, and it's done me a world of good. So there's nothing more I like doing than passing whatever experiences I've got onto the next group, and seeing them really soar and succeed and take their own path. So that's what I think it's all about. So if that helps, let's have at it. You ready?
Absolutely. Well, before we get started, on the behalf of myself, my brother Brian, and the My Brothers Keepers community, we want to say thank you. We want to extend that gratitude to you for taking time out of your day to be here and sharing the wealth of knowledge that you have. Thank you.
You're so welcome, and it's a treat for me, and it's nothing but a privilege. So there's so much we can dive into here right out of the gate. What I might do, if the audience can hear me, well enough and clear enough, we name this "Let's Talk Money." So obviously that is a gigantic topic that I can go any number of different directions with. So what we're going to attempt to do here tonight and in future sessions is, whether somebody is literally, at their early ages, just entering college, they're in their 20s, they're in their late 20s, 30s, late 30s, 40, 50 years of age, whatever bracket they're in and wherever they are, I'm going to show a roadmap on how they can begin to build an enormous financial future, regardless of where they are currently. And because I'm living proof, it's possible. And I'll clarify that by saying I've never been accused of being the smartest one in the room. I just like to think I work harder than most. Okay. So there's nothing that nobody here can't do and pick up in time. So we're going to keep this really easy and fun. Okay?
I love it. I love it. Simplicity is the best. I love it. Thank you.
So for starters, this all started for me, when I started doing public speaking and guest speaking and keynote speaking, with the conversation I had with a couple people at UNC Charlotte. And I said, what's amazing? There's two things that come to mind. I used to be a big contributor to their baseball program, being a former ball player.
Yeah.
And I said, there's two things. I said, is great a school, and we can name any number of great colleges and universities anywhere nearby that you want to mention.
Yep.
They don't teach us how to handle money.
Mm.
So we study so hard, we get our degree, we get 2 degrees in whatever curriculum, and we're taught by some of the best instructors, professors, administrators that are in that industry. And then once you get your degree, now you're going to enter into what's called a real world where, okay, now what you're going to learn isn't in any textbook.
Right.
Okay? It's called the real world.
We've been there.
You can look at me as, I use the term, a bridge. I'm nothing more than a bridge where I can help the younger crowd and even some of the middle-aged crowd that have had a hard time getting started and getting some planning, in place with their finances, get them started and show them a very simple path that can, just pay off an enormous way if they make a little bit of a commitment to it. Okay. So what I'd like to do, when you and I first started talking about this, Courtney, we kind of knew what we wanted to do. Yeah. And then ironically, about 3 weeks ago, I read a lot. I came across a few articles here that just shocked me. So I'm going to give you a couple of headliners here. Then I'm going to clarify a couple things, and then we're going to go a little bit deeper.
Okay.
And there'll be a question and answer session coming up here, and we'll follow Courtney's cue on that.
Yep.
But for starters, if you want to put up this slide here, for starters, Courtney. Now, this is on a national level. Here's a statistic. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 of them here that literally just shocked me when I read this. Nearly 3/4 of millennials in this country are more than $100,000 in debt, and that does not include their mortgage or their rent payment. Let me say that again.
Wow.
3/4 of the millennial age bracket, okay?
Wow.
Are $100,000 or more in debt, not including their rent or their mortgage payment. So if you give that some thought, what does that leave? Credit card, student loans, and typically vehicle payments.
Yep.
So that is one heck of a hole.
Yep.
Financially to have to try to climb out of, especially at a relatively early age. So that's shocking. Here's the next one, Courtney, if you want to flip to this one even a little bit more so. 1/3 of Americans that make over $250,000 a year income are living paycheck to paycheck. That shorted my circuits right there. 1/3 of Americans making over $250,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. That's hard for me to fathom. I can't, that's hard to get my arms around. Now here's another one, a growing problem. If you want to go to this one next, Courtney, so everybody can see it.
There you go.
This is shocking. $1,000 a month car payments are becoming very common. $1,000 a month car payment are becoming very common. I mean, when I was coming up, that was a lot of rent, let alone a car payment. And then if you look here, they're paying 8.6% on that vehicle. 8.6%. So that's crazy. Now, we're going to switch gears here in a second because I've got some good news coming behind us. 21% of adults in the United States cannot handle a $400 unexpected expense.
Man,
they have zero savings.
That's very common too. $400. That's very common.
Oh my goodness. And then 61%, over half, 61% cannot afford a $1,000 unexpected expense. This is some serious stuff. So I hope I'm getting some people's attention with that. And so the bottom line is the question, the red flag we can raise at this moment after hearing those kind of statistics is, okay, we all work hard every day, every week, every month, whatever we do, whatever line of work, whatever profession we're in, whatever our income is, what do we do with our money? It's no more complicated than that. It's no more complicated than that. So, Courtney, if you want to go to this one next, here's a great story that everybody can really look up to as far as, okay, this may be something I can aspire to get to. This is a story of a gentleman that worked as a janitor for a school for 40 years. 40 years, okay? His entire working life, for 40 years, he worked as a janitor at a school. In a school. And he loved his job. The kids loved him. The teachers loved him. He never made more than $45,000 a year. Now, by the time you take taxes out of that, you and I were discussing it, Courtney, taxes, federal, state, you're probably going to clear somewhere in the mid 30,000s. So divide that by, how much a week is he taking home? That's not a whole lot of money in this day and age.
That's $500, $600 or something?
Something like that. Yep. Probably around $700 a week he's taking home. Now, what he started doing at an early age, kind of like I did, okay? I got almost as much gray hair as that gentleman does. He started buying and investing dividend-paying stocks.
Love it.
So we're going to get into this in a big way here in a minute, and this is an enormous world, but it's so simple. I can just caution everybody that's listening. It's a lot easier and simpler than you may begin to believe, and I'm going to prove this to you. So let's have some fun with this. After 40 years working for this school as a janitor, and like I said a minute ago, wherever we are in life, whatever we do for a living. I mean, when I was a kid, I had 2 paper routes. I shoveled snow because I'm from Michigan. I cleaned toilets. I was a janitor. I worked as a warehouse boy. I mean, I had a lot of what I called grunt jobs, and I was glad to have them at the time. It paid whatever bills I had to have. So whether we're a Fortune 500 CEO or whether we're working for just a nominal wage and a very humble job, we're all somewhere. But there's no reason we can't start the path forward to some real good, productive financial success. And I'm going to show you how you do it right now. So this gentleman, this is just one example. And there are many, many stories like this gentleman. He started investing in a handful of very simple, basic stocks. And when you're in the stock market, I'm going to talk about this. Most of them, what we call the blue chip stocks, the big, big.
I can think of the name. Yep, blue chip.
They pay dividends. So when you get dividends every 90 days, they usually pay quarterly. You can take the dividends in the form of cash, or you can reinvest those dividends to buy more shares of the same stock. So get this. He never sold. He reinvested it every cent, and those dividends that started so small, to use your term, Courtney, that started a snowballing effect that got bigger and bigger and bigger. He ended up with $8 million. He ended up with $8 million. He left it all to a local library and a hospital. He didn't even need what he accumulated. So this gentleman, I mean, you guys know the math better than me on this. I mean, it's probably just a $45,000 a year pre-tax. Whew, that's not a lot of money with the cost of living nowadays, especially when you got people paying $1,000 car payments, huh?
Right.
So somebody missed the quote there.
That's almost minimum wage nowadays.
Exactly right. So let's do this. For people that may be listening, that have always been afraid to ask, maybe a little bit bashful, maybe a little bit apprehensive, maybe been a little bit afraid of things like what is the stock market? How does it work? I don't know anything about it. I'm terrified to ask. I'm terrified to touch it because it sounds too complicated for me.
It looks intimidating. It looks intimidating.
It really does.
It looks intimidating. So, you know, put your mind at ease. I'm no smarter than anybody on this call. In fact, I like to make fun of myself a little bit and keep it lighthearted. I took the little bus to school. Okay, I took the little bus. So what this does is it gets you a lot better in math. You're reading a lot more. But man, if you just stay with it, you will not believe the reward you'll get if you give it a little bit of time. So how does the stock market work? So like my favorite, I always have one. If anybody that knows me knows I have one of these close by. It's a bottle of Diet Coke. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Coca-Cola is my favorite stock for a lot of reasons. And you're going to hear me reference a guy named Warren Buffett many, many times. He's one of the top 3 or 4 wealthiest men in the world. Okay. And we're going to get right back to him in a second. But the way the stock market works is this. Every single stock, whether it's Coca-Cola, General Motors, IBM, Procter & Gamble, any company you want to mention, anybody, you know, in the world can buy shares of their stock. And now some of these stocks are $10 a share. Some are $150 a share. Some are $600 a share. That means nothing in the grand scheme of things. So walk with me here. When you buy a single share of stock from any of these companies, whatever the price of that share is, you become an owner of that company. You're a publicly traded shareholder. With one single share of stock, say of Johnson & Johnson, you know, it's about $150 a share. You own a part of Johnson & Johnson, this big behemoth healthcare company. So what happens is these type of companies pay dividends. What is a dividend? A dividend is part of the overall profit of the company. Now, here it's so ironic. We're talking about stocks tonight. Coca-Cola just had their highest record quarterly report the day before yesterday. They did 12.5 billion sales. Billion with a B. So times that by 4, they're probably going to hit 50 billion in sales this year. Now, one of the reasons I happen to love Coca-Cola, and thank goodness for people getting thirsty every day, is they have increased their dividend in small little increments for 63 years in a row.
That's pretty good.
Now, if anybody is following along with us here, and Courtney, you put it best the other day, you start a snowballing effect. And what happens is the reinvesting and the dividends that pay out every quarter, they usually pay out 4 times a year, every 90 days, a quarter, which accumulates to one number over the course of an entire year, 4 cycles. Okay. If you reinvest those dividends, if you give it a few short years, it starts accumulating like you will not believe. And again, you know, when I was a kid, if I had a paper route, if I bust tables, if I, you know, whatever, I cut lawns, I've done all that stuff. Okay. I umpired Little League baseball games when I couldn't pitch anymore. Whatever you're doing, you can put whatever your income is to effect starting today in a huge way. And I'm going to show you how to do it. If I can do it, anybody else here can do it. And probably a lot of them can do it a lot better than me. Okay. So one of the things that fascinates me, and I've read every book on Warren Buffett known to man. This is the Warren Buffett way. There's 4 different editions of this book, and he basically tells you how to do it. So when I keep referring to anybody at any age can get started in this, it's so simple. When Warren Buffett was 12 years old, his dad talked him into buying a single share of Coca-Cola. At that time, it was $40 a share. No problem. So he says, okay, Dad, I'm going to take some of my paper out money and I'm going to buy a couple shares of Coca-Cola. So that's $80. 2 times 4, 40 is $80. So they've done studies and they've tracked, he's in his 90s now. So those dividends that he would get, so the price of the stock would go up. It's almost $80 a share now, so it's over doubled. But those dividends that have paid out all these years every quarter keep compounding and compounding and compounding. It's like interest on interest from interest from interest, if that makes sense. Believe it or not, you ready for this? That one single share of Coca-Cola that he bought when he was 12 years old, now I think he's 92, is worth $2.5 million.
Wow.
And it's the one
$40.
company, Warren Buffett has said many times, this is the one stock I will never, ever sell because of those dividends. Now, when I started, getting interested in the stock market years ago, like my own wife, she didn't know a share of stock from a baseball bat. Okay. I mean, why would she? So now she sees where some of our stuff is going. Every week she's, John, when's the next dividend? Hey honey, when's the next dividend? She's beating me to the computer.
Man.
Yeah. So
yeah. So real quick, I want to chime in a real quick question, and I'm asking for myself, but I feel like some people may have the same question.
Okay.
Going back to the story of Warren Buffett.
Yep.
You mentioned that he paid initial your $40. He got 2 stocks for $80. You mean to tell me he didn't have to put no more money in? He just bought those 2 stocks, and those 2 stocks over years and over time and over compound on top of compound interest created a $2.5 million return for him in 2026.
The
first one did.
Yeah.
Got it.
You can get all this on. You guys are better than me with the new technology. But you can. I use Gemini all the time because they answer all my stock questions. Like my little grandson, I got an account going for him, and I'll tell you about that. The audience love this story. But the power of compounding, because we're talking over 80 years that one share of stock for him has been compounding. Most of us won't get that many years. And you don't need that many. I mean, he's worth $160 billion right now. So, he's been adding on. But what they did is they did a study on several of his stocks, whether it's Apple, whether it's Coca-Cola, whether it's Bank of America. So if he started with X amount, it was worth this much in 10 years, this much in 20 years, this much in 40 years. But Coca-Cola is one of the few that has raised its dividend all these years, plus the compounding, plus the share price has over doubled. That's like a triple lottery.
That's a no-brainer. Like
it's a no-brainer.
It's just a no-brainer at this point.
Watch this. The share price goes up slow and steady. So the question, well, John, what do we do if the share goes down in price? Okay. Blue chip stocks over time, and I got charts right here to show you, they don't go down. So this is where, with a little bit of research, you see a company like this, Johnson & Johnson. Can you see that chart? It starts over here. And it goes slow and steady over like 50 years. Here's another one, DTE. Slow. This is a beautiful picture right here. It started way down here. Now look at it. And after a few years, it starts going straight north. So when the price of the stock goes up, and then you keep compounding these dividends, that's what I mean by start slow and go straight north. Then if you keep adding to it week by week, month by month, year by year, it gets crazy fun. It gets crazy. So I hope this is making some sense. Now, can you get this one, Courtney?
Yes.
This will kind of blow their mind while I'm on this topic. So with one of they call him the world, the best investor in the world or something like that. Okay, if you can hold that one there for a second, that last
Here
one.
we go. I'm trying to get it right here for you. Here you go. Yep.
To give the audience, now this is Warren Buffett. I mean, realistically, I don't know if any of us will get anywhere near this level, but this is what can happen if you give it a little bit of time. This is about 2 years old. This is what he makes just on his dividends. $118 a second, $6,730 a minute, $403,000 per hour. Now he's one of the top 5 richest men in the world, but he started with one single share of Coca-Cola. So he currently has 400 million shares of Coca-Cola. It pays him about $1.5 billion a year in dividend. That's where this will go. Yeah. So watch this. Let me change gears because I got a lot I want to jump into. See, schools don't teach you how to handle your money personally. And I think that's a tremendous tragedy. One of the things I asked UNC Charlotte was, listen, I've been in the world of sales for 4 decades. That's a lot of miles on the road. That's a lot of sales calls. That's a lot of phone calls. You know, I could write a book on how to start up as an entry-level salesperson, okay? Why is there not one single course or one single curriculum in any of the top schools and universities that say, so you want to go into sales? There's not one. So that started a whirlwind of a conversation between me and the people at UNC Charlotte. So the next thing you know, I'm speaking to their faculty. I'm in a couple of their auditoriums, and here we are now. That's how this all starts, because that doesn't make any sense to me. There's not millions or billions. There's trillions of dollars of stuff sold and bought in this country every year, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Whatever industry you sell, you could sell pharmaceuticals, you could sell homes like I do, you could sell cars, clothes, jewelry, anything, cosmetics. There's not a single course in any college about sales. And I don't get that. I mean, it should be on the top of the, you know, I took business administration. So you have 4 things there. You have management, finance, marketing, and accounting. Yeah. Well, let's think about that. Accounting, you got to have experience. Management, you got to have experience. Finance, you got to learn how to handle money, which, when I was 21 years old coming out of college, all I knew was how to throw a baseball. I wouldn't know a checkbook from a textbook. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Probably still don't. So all of those 4 curriculums, you got to have experience. I mean, who's going to hire me at age 22 in a high-level management position? They say, kid, you're not even dry behind the ears yet. Go get 10 years experience and come back and see us.
Yeah, it don't happen. Right?
You know what I'm saying?
It's a huge gap. It's a huge gap in the institutions, high school as well as colleges. It's a huge gap that kids are graduating top of their class and still don't know how to handle money, invest money, make, sell themselves.
Yeah. So let me tell a quick story here, and then I'm going to change gears if I can have your permission, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Let me jump to a chase here on anybody listening that's wondering, okay, now he's got my attention with all this Warren Buffett stuff and these stock dividends. How do I get started? Write this down if you have notepads out there for everybody listening. The 10% rule. The 10% rule. Whatever you're doing and whatever your current income is, you want to get in the habit starting immediately, okay? At 12:01 tonight, today's gone, right? At 12:01 past midnight, today's gone for good. You want to take 10% of your current income and start buying shares of blue chip stock like I've been describing as soon as you can. It costs you nothing to open an account. It costs you nothing to buy the shares. And even if you had to sell the shares, which I highly don't recommend, you want to let them sit and grow like a seed. Look at the biggest tree in your neighborhood. That started with one little seed, little branch that somebody planted. Now you got this gigantic oak tree, okay? Same as stock dividends. You got to give them a chance to grow. So 10%. So if somebody makes $500 a week, that's $50. If they make $1,000, that's $100. If they make $700, that's $70. So higher, lower, whatever scale you're on, I guarantee you can see your way to taking 10% of your income and making that happen. And if you're thinking, well, John, I got a few other bills. That only leaves me 90%. Well, I promise you, as we're all listening here, you can figure out the 90%. All I'm asking for is put 10% of your money, and I can explain to you how to open an account. It's all done online. And believe me, I'm not tech savvy at all. You can get it started same day, and you'll have nothing but fun with this, just watching it grow and take off. So the 10% rule. And then what happens when you've been doing this a little while and you gain some momentum, and, you know, for many of us, we get better jobs, we get raises, we get more income, then you can get a little more aggressive, 12, 15, 18%. Then it starts getting crazy fun. Now, so are we okay so far?
We are.
Okay,
we are. We have a few questions, but we can wait until the next segment.
Okay, good. Now, I became a grandfather a couple years ago. Okay. It's my little daughter's firstborn, and he just turned 2 years old. So when I knew my little grandson was about to be born, I'm starting to think ahead, you know, after studying this stuff. I said, you know what, why don't I do this? I'm going to go and open up a stock account for little Jack. What I'm thinking is,
go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
My little daughter works as a server at Christopher's. It's a big sports bar. And Happy Dad, he works in another line of work, unrelated. And between the two of them, I'm just kind of thinking ahead, big picture. I want my grandson to be able to go to any college he wants to go to in 18 years. So you see where I'm going? I opened up an account. I put all my stuff is with Fidelity, and I bought Coca-Cola and I bought Johnson & Johnson with a little chunk of money. And what's going to happen is I'm going to add to that each year for until he's about 10, like 9 or 10. And with the dividends and the stock splits and the increases, by the time he gets to be 18 years old, there'll be more than enough money in there that he'll be able to go to any college in the United States that he chooses. And here's the beauty of it. I'm going to fund that whole thing on dividends of my own stock holdings. I don't have to touch $1 of my own principal.
Wow.
That's good.
That's the beauty of compounding.
That's good.
Now, I told my daughter if they have a couple more kids, that's going to be our overall figure. You know?
You don't get no more now.
Yeah,
it's all you gonna get.
This is
right
not
here.
to encourage you to have more kids right here.
Because when I was teasing her the other day, I said, because then I'm going to buy you a TV after that. You guys are going to buy a TV, right? So that's a joke. But anyway, you get me. So the beauty of compounding, because I don't want my daughter and my grandson to be riddled with student loans this high and what I call bad debts. And we've all had those a time or two. You just want to get out of them as quickly as you possibly can. I want my little grandson to be able to go to any school he wants. And I don't want his mom and dad to be riddled with debt. Like, we're big Clemson fans over here. Okay. So out of state tuition, you know about all that. It's $30,000 a year to send in to Clemson. That's a lot for any family. I don't care what the income is. That's a lot of money for 1 year of tuition.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And that's not, you know, the apartment, the room and board, all the goodies that come with going to school. So this is where, if everybody is following me right here, this is a gigantic point to be made right here. Yeah. This is how you put time to your advantage versus trying to play catch up your whole life. Because I hear these stories. I know realtors, you know, I'm in my 60s, okay? I know realtors that are close to my age that have not even begun to start thinking about retirement yet.
That's scary.
And some have made a lot of money, some only middle of the road. They haven't even started to think about it. So I started a long time ago, but I wish I would have started even earlier than that to let this compounding, you know, take effect. But every one of you listening here, there's no reason you cannot have gigantic success if you just get started. Now, for anybody that's familiar with this, you're going to hear a term every now and then, like if you walk into one of these stock brokerage offices, I won't mention any names, they're going to mention mutual funds. They want you to put your money in mutual funds.
I hear that a lot, Mr. DeSmedt. So, yeah, they talk about it.
Yeah, what a mutual fund is, follow me here, it's an accumulation of 20, 30, 40 different stocks. And I don't like those because you know why? They charge you a lot of hidden fees. They don't, forgive me, but they don't want to tell you that. Okay. That's how they make their money. So what happens is if your stock account goes up, they charge you. If it stays the same, they charge you. If it drops, heaven forbid, they still charge you. See, I don't need to pay anybody to lose my money. I can kind of do that my own, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
stay away from mutual funds.
Yeah, the reason this guy, Warren Buffett, you can take that one down if you want, Courtney, because we got other ones coming up here. Thank you. Is he buys direct stocks. So let's say, and they put all these fancy names on it. See, they don't like guys like me because I kind of see right through the game there. They don't tell you about all those fees they charge off your account every quarter and every year. I don't like that. So let's say there's 40 different stocks in XYZ++ mutual fund. They make it sound real good, right? Why would you put one nickel into your 38th favorite stock? Not me.
30. Right.
Give me one or two phenomenal stocks.
Yep. Big boys. Yep. Blue chip.
I'm good. Yep. So what Buffett did, and he's into many, many different companies, but when he was just getting started, like all of the rest of us, he'd get one winner and really research it and say, I'm going all in on that stock. And then give it a few years and then find another winner like a Johnson & Johnson. I'm going all in on that stock. But the process is the same. It's the compounding over years and years is where the game is won and lost. So when you look at these stock charts, this will be maybe a next session, Courtney. When you see stocks that are going like this, up and down, stay as far away from those as you can. You want slow,
unpredictable,
steady growth.
Yep, unpredictable ones. You don't know what. You don't know.
There's a million people that try to time the market, the ups and downs, and when to buy it and when to sell it. They all go broke because nobody is that good.
Right.
Nobody is that good. Warren Buffett has never bought a single mutual fund in his whole life, and he's never paid one nickel of a brokerage fee. So if you walk in one of these offices, and you know the ones I mean, you're paying for those marble floors. So when I call Fidelity to open up my little grandson's account, two guys were on the speakerphone because I've been with them for years. John, what mutual fund do you want to start your grandson out in? I said, I don't want any. They're like, excuse me? I said, I'm going to buy direct stock for little Jack's accounts. Oh, you could feel the air come right out of the conversation because, now we can't sell this guy anything. You see how that works?
They're making money on that mutual fund. They're making money on that.
Oh, they're making a lot of money, and more than, I hate to say it, more than you know from the outset. I mean, there's a lot of good guys in that field. Yeah. But there's more that really, you'll learn this. See all the gray hair I got? I had to get beat up a few times before I started figuring this stuff out. And once you see the light of day, everything is online now. Like you can pick any company and just do a Google search and get the price history, the stock dividend history, the highs and lows, when they have stock splits, which is another term. It's all right at your fingertips. When I was getting started, we didn't even have laptop computers. You know, we had to go to a library and try to read up on some of this stuff, and it was all Greek. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So you guys have it right on your iPhones now. So that's the 10% rule. So the thing is here, you got to make your mind up. Whether you've never started anything or you've tried a few times and not sure what you're doing, never really had a strategy or never had anybody try to help you a little bit, you got to make a commitment. You got to make a commitment. I say every week. Now, some people do it once or twice a month, but then you're going to forget. You got to make a commitment once a week. I don't care if it's $20, $50, $80, $100. You got to make a deposit into your account. And it can be as simple as, okay, I'm going to put whatever increment per week is doable, $40, $50, $80, $100. And then when I hit a number like $500, I'm going to buy a few more shares of stock. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it again. And that is your future retirement nest egg. And don't you dare sell it unless it's a dire emergency. You got to let those dividends work for you. and then you get this kind of an effect. Okay.
I love it.
All right. So look, yeah, real quick, Mr. John, it's been some great information. Just listening. I love how you just setting the scene. This is just foundational. If this was the alphabet, we're at A. We're doing the ABCs of this right here. It gets very, deep and more complex, but this is very simple in terms of listening and applying this, right? I just want to highlight a few things, and we're going to get to some questions because I have some questions.
Can I show you a couple things, Courtney, real fast?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay. Just to give you a statistic here, 33% of the millionaires in this country have never made $100,000.
That's important. That's important right here. Okay. I'm going to repeat it again. 33% of millionaires never earned more than $100,000 in a single year. More money is not the solution, people.
It's what you do with it.
It's about discipline. I love that.
Look at
and that's the other guy. Yep.
He ended up with $8 million.
Yep.
Anybody here use an extra $8 million in their later years? You know what I mean?
I'll take it.
Now here's another one. If you get 10% on your money, I do this several times a year. So you can do. I just took $10,000, and if you get 10% return on your money, so like to start, 10% is 1,000 of 10,000. In 10 years, you'll have just under $26,000. It's over 2.5 times as big.
I'm gonna let somebody. That's awesome.
So that shows you how simple this is. If you just get the engine started and keep contributing, 10% is very manageable. I mean, I work for minimum wage. To this day, I work commission only. I mean, if I sell, I eat. If I don't, I don't. But I started, at rock bottom, like right out of college, like most of us did. So whatever you do for a line of work, there's no reason you can't take 10% of it every week and wisely invest it. And I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you. I don't want a dime for it. I just want to see people really succeed because they maybe just didn't know how to get started and what path to take, because I can teach them. Okay.
All right. It's great. It's great
I sent somebody the link. Somebody should be coming up on the stage shortly.
Hey, so for our viewing audience, if you on YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section. If you want to come on, if you got a question for John, if you on Facebook, Instagram, if you have a question for John, do not be shy.
Come on and get this financial.
We'll send you the link.
Information. John, we have someone here now. She's going to come on stage right now. Miss Sharon. Her name is Miss Sharon.
All right.
We can do this. Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Sharon. Hey, how you doing? Let's clap it up for her. Hey, Sharon, coming on here. You take it away with your question. You can have it.
Okay. I've got two questions. The first one is, I'm 60, so I don't really have a lot of years for things to compound. So what would be a good way for me to get started?
Well, you'd be surprised, Sharon. Sharon, right?
Yeah, Sharon.
Sharon, yep.
I'm older than you, okay? And I got more gray hair than you do. So it's never too old. You're never too old. We all wish we'd have started 5-10 years earlier than what we really did. But this is a way, you keep seeing me go like this, where you can build. I speak to different types of groups, and one of my dear friends, whenever I do a speech like this, he'll put a plaque behind my head and he'll put wealth architect. You can be your own wealth architect. Now, isn't this ironic? I sell real estate, meaning I sell homes, but I invest in the stock market. I don't want to invest in real estate. Too many things can go wrong. And I have a lot of colleagues that argue with me about this. So trust me, I've done great with the stock market because I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to be a fix and flip. I don't want to deal with all the repairs and the maintenance and the things that go out.
Right.
In this little equation I'm lining out for you, you can sleep great every night, every week, and just watch that big old oak tree grow. Yep. So whatever increments you're comfortable to invest into part with, Sharon, you can have huge success. You can have huge success because you know what you and me have in common, Sharon? we both have enough gray hair. We're starting to think about Social Security.
Yeah.
I just got I was so embarrassed. I told Courtney this the other day. I had a bad tooth the other day and I had to go and get a root canal. So, when you get a root canal, everything stops. So I'm in the dentist chair. So the girl says to me, all right, how are you going to pay for this? So I give her my debit card. Okay, take it out of this account. And I get home and my wife says, did you forget? And I said, forget what? She says, you have Medicare now. That'll cover it. So we had to file a claim this morning. I forgot I had the card. I never get sick. I run 4 miles a day, so I'm pretty healthy. But I forgot I had this Medicare card, and they're going to cover my root canal. So what I'm doing, Sharon, is putting off taking Social Security until I absolutely have to, just over 70. So any income I get right now, I actually put in a lot more than 10% because, knock on wood, I'm pretty good established. So I'm more aggressive now than ever. If I can get to 12, 15, 18, even 20% some weeks, I put it in there because I know exactly what these stocks are going to do. What you want is the dividends. So if you only have a few years, 8, 10, 15, 20 years, oh my goodness, you can do a lot of damage, Sharon, in that amount of time. Now, the people that I try to caution is don't buy and sell. Don't go in and go out. You got to leave it in there. It's the power of compounding. I mean, there's books written, there's articles, there's stuff. Just Google the power of compounded dividends. Now, there's compounded interest, which is a good thing.
Right.
But you know what? The interest stops right there. A compounded stock dividend is worth a lot more money than interest because it breeds more shares of stock. Like the Cloverleaf effect. The interest stops right there. So that's a good perk rather than just letting your money sit in cash. That's like dead money then. So interest is okay, but compounded dividends are where the big fortunes are made. And reinvest every cent to buy more shares. I can show you how to do that in 5 minutes. It's real simple. But Sharon, you got plenty of time. But you want to get started.
Them blue chips. Should she go for those blue chips? Just go for the blue chips and just aggressively go in there. Did you recommend higher than 10%? Or
if you
with her age and her situation, you say go a little bit more aggressive, go for the blue chips and still kind of play the waiting game?
Yeah, a blue chip stock, Courtney, great timing on your point. A blue chip stock is one of these behemoth companies like
Apple, Microsoft,
Procter and Gamble, Bank of America, Coca-Cola that have been around for decades and decades, and they do hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. And when you see these charts, notice how they all go up slow and steady. So these blue chips don't go down. It's not like those internet stocks that go way up and then crash and burn. We don't want that, right? Slow and steady. Slow and steady wins huge. So then you tack on those dividends on top of that. Give that a few years. Oh my goodness. See what I try to do. I was telling one of my realtors this the other day. I go by what I call doubles. So if I start with, let's just say $1,000, I want to double it as fast as I can. So let's say in Sharon's case, let's just take a round, simple figure here. If you take $1,000 and on average, Coca-Cola will double every 5 to 7 years. So if you go 20 years, 1,000 goes to 2, 2 goes to 4, 4 goes to 8, 8 goes to 16. 5 times. So $1,000 goes to 16,000. Now imagine if you did that with 5 or 10,000 or 100,000, or put it on any scale you want. That's pretty good return for just letting it sit and compound. The fortune is letting it sit there.
Reinvesting those dividends.
Reinvest the dividends. And see now, like young people, they can't stand it. They get a nice stock gain and they look at, oh my gosh, I'm up $10,000. I'm going to go get a new car. And there'll be a new car in the driveway. Or they'll go, our joke, Courtney, the other day about 20 pairs of tennis shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wanted you to talk about that. I need somebody to hear that. I
Right, so
think Sharon
watch
has
this.
another. You have another question, Sharon, or what did was
Yeah, I do have one other question. Just
okay.
want to know your thoughts. What do you think about day trading?
Horrible. I would run as far and fast away from it as humanly possible.
It's very risky.
It's an enormous risk, and you got to be on that computer 10, 12, 14 hours a day and hope you got 80% of the data correct, and you still may lose because there's things out there that, like, I'm from Detroit, where they build cars. So I grew up, you had three choices. You can go to work at Ford, General Motors, or Chrysler's. Go anybody, work anywhere you want, but you had to work at one of those three. So Ford could do everything perfect. You say, okay, I'm going to go buy me some Ford Motor Company shares. And then they have a bad third and fourth quarter because the unions took up more of their profits than they expected. That's a big deal up north. You lost all your profit. So it doesn't need to be that complicated. Pick winners right here. They tell you, this is like a 50-year history of Johnson & Johnson. I mean, if you'd have bought it here in 95, it was, I don't know, $15 a share. Now this was like 2 years ago, $180 a share. It'll take care of it for you if you just let it sit and let the dividends compound. So whenever you get a chance, Google the power of compounded stock dividends over time, and you'll get 20 articles. It'll blow your mind where this can go. Let me turn my light on here, sorry. But does that answer your question, Sharon?
The difference is holding the stock for a long period of time and letting it grow. And day trading is you buying and selling immediately.
Yeah. And then if you make a little money, you got to immediately pay taxes on it.
Yeah. It's buying and selling immediately.
The wiser move for people like Sharon and me is buy some stock, whatever we can comfortably afford, put it in a retirement account. While it's growing and compounding, you don't have to pay a nickel of tax on the gain if you put it in like an IRA, a 401k, a Keogh account until you go to sell. And you don't have to sell till 70 and a half.
Okay.
All those day traders got to pay tax if they make a profit. So Brian hit the nail on the head. It's super high risk because if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. But a lot of people try, but I mean, you are living on thin ice.
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard, and it's more strategy that goes more into it. But this is the more safer way is to buy the share and let it sit and compound. If you're patient, you got to be patient. The key is patience and discipline.
See, you know what? I look at this guy here. He's in his 90s now. He's been studying money for 80 years. So you know what? I'm no smarter than anybody else, but I want to hear what he has to say. I do a lot with personal development. So I read every book on Jack Canfield. He's been the master of personal development. He wrote the Success Principles. To me, that's the Bible. I got this one right here. See, I knew Courtney was coming tonight. I'm ready for him.
Success Principles. That's on my list too. That is after the Warren Buffett. That's on my list right there.
This is the Bible right here, the Success Principles. So
love it.
He's been doing that for 50 years. I just kind of want to hear what he has to say. You know what I mean?
Right. And folks that's out there, these people that he's mentioning, Jack and Warren Buffett, if you haven't heard, they are the Tom Brady's and the Michael Jordans of investing. Like they are, when you think about investing, when you think about where your money should go, you always want to start with the very best. What do they have to say? And then challenge it, study it, research it, and see if it's true. Right? What John is explaining that everybody, and I'm just going to paraphrase and put it in like my terms as I'm getting it in, is the blue chip stocks are the way to go. Right? And the sooner you invest and sooner you put your money in that, the better. He also mentioned, and what as a parent, I heard the story of your grandson, and that to me, that was loud. That was the loudest story you said, because we all can relate. We all got kids, and our kids have, things that we buy them, whether you're a parent or grandparent. And what we do when they want something from a store, we get it for them. When it's their birthday, we have them a birthday party. When they want some nice Jordans, we get them some Jordans. My mindset, which is really what we want everybody to get from this, is the mindset shift that I'm getting out of this. Is like, hey, instead of buying my kids 5 pair of shoes when it's time to get them shoes, how about I get them 1 pair or 2 pair, and the money that I was going to spend on those shoes, let me go put some stocks in their name real quick. Let me go put some stocks in their name, where they're 8, 9, and 10. And every time the birthday come up, instead of giving them money that they're going to go to the Concord Mills Mall and spend and buy some candy and some stuff that they're going to blow in the day, give them a little bit of money, and maybe you go get them an Apple stock or a Microsoft stock or a Coca-Cola stock or a Johnson & Johnson stock or one of those blue chip, and really start thinking this mindset. Is it that easy? It's just that simple. It's the discipline. It's the time that you're willing to wait, meaning that when you get those dividends and they say you're up 1,000 from that $20 that you put in or $50 that you put in, instead of taking that payout, reinvest it. Reinvest your money. Operate as if it don't exist. Put that money back into the stock market and let it ride. Guess what? The time is going to go by anyway. The years and time is going to go by anyway. So let your money work for you. Compound. This is, in my opinion, as a black man sitting here, a man of color, this is the wealth strategy that we missed coming up. We didn't have these conversations about stocks. We was always doing different things. Let's go buy a business, which each his own. But this is the conversation when we talked about breaking generational curses and generational cycles a couple of weeks ago on My Brother's Keeper podcast. This is what we were talking about. Normalizing these conversations, putting your money in the right places. John showed an illustration. I'm gonna let you get to it, John, but I'm on the heater right now. You had an illustration that said 13% of millionaires don't make over $100,000 a year. That right there is an indictment on everybody. That is an indictment, because when we think about it, we think about liquid cash, but really the game is all about investing, putting your money in the right places so it can double, triple, quadruple over time. And that is your net worth. That is really what what these millionaires are doing and what they've been doing over time that we all have not been doing. And is it that simple? Somebody put it in the chat. Is it that simple? Yes, it's that simple. You can buy stock tonight. And that's why John is here and he's giving his information. You can definitely connect with him one-on-one or in group settings, but he just setting the foundation. But yes, it's just that simple. This weekend, you already planning on what you're going to do with your money. How about you take half of that and just put it in the stock market? But anyway, go ahead, John.
Hey, Miss Sharon, we want to thank you for coming on and asking.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah.
Yes, we all hear the term generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? The majority of people don't understand how that works. And
I don't
care how we work or what we do. It doesn't matter. We're all the same. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who we are. I mean, I grew up on the east side of Detroit, blue collar. You wouldn't even get out of the car right now in the neighborhood I grew up in. But it's all good, okay? Generational wealth is for when you pass to your children, like Courtney said, or your grandchildren, assets. Like I said the other day, how many toasters do you need? I only need one. You don't need 5, 8 toasters. Now, listen to this story about tennis shoes. So I still run 4 miles a day, and I run with these New Balance tennis shoes, and I love them. I have 2 pairs of those. I was in a home the other night, a very expensive home down in Waxhaw. Nice people, met this whole family. They're interviewing me to list and sell their home for them. And I met their son. He's probably 18, 19 years old, getting ready I think he's going into his junior year of college. Nice kid, sharp kid, handsome. After he left the room, his mom says, yeah, my son, he's going to go big places. He says, but he's got his priorities mixed up. I go, well, what do you mean? And we talked to him for a few minutes. He's got 20 pairs of tennis shoes that are anywhere between $200 and $300 a pair.
We all know somebody like that.
Okay. So you know where I'm going now. Just take 2 or 3 of those pairs. You can only wear one at a time. As long as you can only wear one pair at a time. Take 18 of those 20, you got $5,000. Now watch this. I don't know if Sharon can still hear us, but watch this. Let's just say he's 20 years old. So if you take that 5,000 and just let that sit in a stock like Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, if you go just every 5 years, let's see, 10, 20, 40, 80, 160, 320. By the time he's 50 years old, that's somewhere around $320,000, starting with 5,000. It could be a little higher, but you get my point.
Yes.
And it's sitting there on the floor in his closet. He could start an account right now and not disrupt anything else. And his whole future is set.
It's like what we put value on. What do we put value on? Do we put value on those sneakers that just going to depreciate and get small because your feet going to get bigger and you're not going to be able to wear them anymore? Or do you want to think about, it's like the terminology is it's a marathon and not a sprint. You got to play the long game. And investing is you got to play the long game. You can't, it's not a get rich scheme overnight. It's the long game. And you have to have patience. You got to have discipline. But we have some questions. Let me get some questions in. Let me go up in the chat. Okay. It's a 2-part question. I have shares. You belong coaching. I have shares. I don't know what to do with it or what it is. Individual investors account, and Bank of America equity. How do I manage that?
Okay. Is it in a mutual fund or are they individual stocks?
I think it is I think it's individual.
Okay. And is the employer contributing to that stock fund every month, or is it strictly on his own?
Is it employer in investing in it, or is it on your own? Guess what? The employer is investing in it.
Okay, if the employer is contributing to it, what you want to find out is how much, are they contributing 10%, 15%, whatever they're contributing, and find out if it's in a mutual fund. Now, if you're in a mutual fund, sometimes you can pull out and shift to individual stocks, but there may be a penalty and a tax to pull out. So sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah, it's probably worth it.
Like you say, play the long game. Sometimes it's not. So what I'd have to hear is he on the plus side? Is he about even? Is he on a loss? Because timing is everything with that. But if the employer will keep contributing, I'd probably tell him if it's possible, and we could figure this out in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Shift into individual stocks, if at all possible, and play the long game.
Individual stock. Okay.
But if there's a penalty to come out of that account, how much is it? Because I know people that still do it, and they say, I'll eat the penalty because in 10, 15 years from now,
you'll get that back times 10.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. That's good. Another question is, let's see, what investing company would you recommend? And we already talked about the blue chip. I think they came on a little late.
That question? Who asked that question?
Chardell is in the chat. She came in. I think she came in a little bit late. But which ones do you recommend?
Well, you've heard me for almost 90 minutes.
I already know for the 100th time. Coca-Cola.
For the people that just got, you got people that just coming in the chat.
Okay.
So you can.
Okay, so is it Chardell?
Chardell, yes.
Here's some good examples. Okay, these are what they call
I don't have that.
Dividend Kings. Okay, 3M. Okay, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, Lowe's, and Johnson and Johnson. These are 5 huge behemoth blue chip stocks that can do, returns. I don't know if quite as good as Coca-Cola, but they'll do you really, really well. What you want to do is just you look at these charts like this and see where you're at on the chart, and then think about how much you're comfortable to get started with, and away you go. The key is not so much as you can pick any 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of these kind of stocks. You'll do phenomenal in the long game, like Courtney calls it, but you have to wait for it, and you have to keep contributing. The most important thing I've done in my whole entire adult life every week is write a check or make a contribution to my retirement. Whether it's $100, $500, that is worth more to me than a great big commission check I get for selling a large home, because I do it every single week for months and months and years.
Steady.
Steady. If you do it a couple times and then quit, and then a couple times and then quit again, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, you get a little bit, but if you just stay with it, patience and playing the long game is where the fortune is.
Let me I got another question. All right. Another question. It's a follow-up question. It says, my stock is with my job who is not publicly traded. What are the advantages of having stock with a company who is not publicly traded?
That's a fantastic question. What I would have to hear more about is what business are they in? What is the stock? How big of a stake he has?
Let's say Publix. I think of like a Publix or something. Like a Publix.
Well, great company. They're growing, but I'd have to hear more. What I would want to do is okay, if they're not publicly traded, then we can't get this kind of information. That person may be able to get some info like this on the company. I'd have to just hear more about it.
Got it.
You know what he won't get,
companies, companies like Fidelity.
Okay, Shardell, if you want to join the podcast, if you want to join the stage,
Shardell definitely
we
can
send you the link if you're interested.
Yeah.
That way you can get your
They see my
in.
cell number. They can call me anytime. You got it going across the screen there, I think.
Yeah, the phone number that I had the email right there. Let me see if another question. Shardell, hang on. I'm gonna get to you. Let's see. Was there another question? I thought it was okay. How can you make this work now? Okay, hold on. Brittany has a question. Did I miss that? Hold on.
No, you didn't do that one yet.
Okay. How can you, this is Brittany Payne, how can you make this work for you now? For example, paying off student loans, or is it something that you just, or is that something that is just best to tackle with liquid cash? So can you leverage your stocks to take off, pay student loans, or do you recommend that? Can you take loans out against it? What's the whole, what can you do with that?
That's a fantastic question.
And they coming. You better open the whole Pandora box.
Whoever that person was, ask a fantastic question. If it was me, I'd want to know a little bit more like how big are the student loans balances, but whether they're a little bit left or a whole lot left, what I would do, there's no excuse for not starting the engine on your own retirement nest egg. You can start that immediately. So whether it's a few shares of any one of these 5, you know what my favorite one is already. What I would do is get in the habit of, okay, you get a weekly paycheck, let's just say hypothetically. So whatever you can allocate to your retirement, I'd have 2 barrels going, one to pay down the debt and one to start my retirement. Instead of one, I'd have one paying down the debt and I'd have one starting my retirement, because this is where you're going to put time in your favor. That one, you still got to deal with it, and you want to pay it off. If you have I'd have to hear more. Most people don't have the wherewithal to just pay it off. My instincts tell me I'd rather do that in phases, but I would get this one started, because this is your future. Time
is not like it's sooner
rather
the
than
difference between this week and next week is crucial. It's timing.
Sure is.
It's just timing. You wait next month. The person who starts this month versus person starting next month, it could be a thousands of dollar difference down the line. Like that's what we're talking. It's just the timing. And what we're talking about, what John is talking about, you can get that started. And we're gonna give his information if you want to have a follow-up conversation with him. But yes, it's that simple. They don't run your credit or nothing. Everybody can get stocks. It's not a members only. You just gotta have the information, and you gotta study which ones you want to go into and invest in, and then go for it. Figure out how much it is.
What website can they get started on?
I have all mine at Fidelity. So if you go on fidelity.com, I'll make this this might be a good, real quick interjection here. Thank you, Brian. If you go on fidelity.com, right across the top 1/3, you'll see open an account, and you can fill it out online. And then they give you 3 or 4 options. They'll show like 3 or 4 little boxes on the screen. Mm-hmm. You want a brokerage account. You don't want, you want a brokerage account to get started. Now they're going to give you 3 or 4 other options of annuities, mutual funds, trusts. That comes down the road. For now, if I was just starting all over, I want to open up a brokerage account that I can buy and sell shares of any stock I want, anytime I want, in any increment. And I don't want to be jurisdicted to mutual funds that are not, you know my take on mutual funds.
Yeah.
That way you are in complete control of your finance. But the person that asked about paying off the college loans was a terrific question. I just need to know more about, the length of time, the balance, because you said something about, is it worth paying it all off in cash? I don't know if I would do that. I need to know a little bit more about that whole scenario. Mm-hmm. If you can, it's probably a good idea fairly soon, because the sooner you can get that behind you, then you can focus on this stuff. Yeah. But if you can't pay it all off, because that sounds like a big chunk, do both. Open this one, and then just pay off the college loans in increments until it's all gone. But you got to start this engine like yesterday.
Yeah,
that's it.
The longer you're doing this, the payoff will be enormous.
Got it. Got another question in the chat. It's just I kind of found it. Pamela Foster says, "What happens if my money is in a company stock that's not profitable?"
That could have a lot of tentacles to it. I
think that went back to your original, like, hey, the blue chip stock, like, go play that game, and then go ahead.
Is it publicly traded, or is it private? Is the employer contributing to it? Would there be any tax or penalty if she pulled her money out of it? So there's a few underlying questions that have to be answered, and then I can answer it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll definitely, like, again, we have this on here. Ticker.
AJ Johnson, are energy stocks too high to risk right now?
Depends which one. I do real well with an energy stock. I'll give you one right here. I've had it forever. It's I'm from Michigan, so this is DTE. It's the old Detroit Edison. It's a utility company. I mean, look at that graph from where it started here.
That's beautiful.
Excuse my finger.
DTE, AJ. He's giving it to you right now. Go ahead and go get that.
That's the name, but that's the name is D. Oh, that's DTE. What?
DTE. Yeah, you can hardly see this here. DTE. That's a terrific question, though. But the thing about utility and energy stocks, unless he's talking about gas, I'm assuming he's talking about utilities. Those are the epitome of slow and steady. What you don't want is this kind of stuff. Up and down, up and down. You lose all your momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you something. You might find this amazing.
Yeah.
This gray hair guy again, 99% of his fortune was made after age 65.
Wow.
Now think about that.
That's for Sharon. That one, Sharon. I hope you was listening there.
Yeah, give that one back to Sharon, because you know what? By that time, the dividend,
that's encouraging.
And you're snowballing, Courtney. has gotten so big, the account's going straight north. You can read that. You can Google that. That's been published. 99% of his fortune was after age 65.
Man, it ain't too
But
late.
He started when he was 12 years old.
Yep. And see now you yep. That's I'm telling you, let's get in and have these family discussions as well. Like have these family discussions, have family meetings, teach your children about this kind of stuff. Let's normalize the language.
Oh yeah,
to our families and our kids. I'm telling you, man, and that's gonna really pay.
You brought up a great point about assets. So generational wealth for our kids, for our grandkids. Okay, you want to give them assets. A few shares of stock will be worth way more because it increases in value. I made the joke about toasters or appliances or giving them furniture. You know, even a car is going to what? Depreciate.
Yeah, right.
Give them stuff that's going to go up in value. Stocks, bonds, treasury bills. Those are different conversations, but they're going to go up in value over time. So like my little grandson, if for some reason he doesn't want to go to college or, you know, it's a different world now, I'm thinking, well, then that'll be a nice down payment on his first house when he gets to that point. But you know, if he doesn't ever sell it, he's going to really be sitting good. But he's got that much, he's got 18 years of a running start with these compounded dividends.
And that's it. And I'm a segue into that. A head start.
That's it.
That's I was trying to think about the word. What are we saying here? For our babies, for our kids, for that next generation, give them a head start. Give them a head start. We didn't have a head start, y'all. Y'all know who we talked. We did not have a head start. We were just trying to get to zero. We were
exactly.
Just you know,
most
some of us had parents around fancy cars, but didn't have nothing to pass down to you. Nothing to pass down to you. All their money, you can see it. All their assets, you can see it. You got to have something that you don't see, that's somewhere working for you, that you can't see, that's not in front of you, that's not something that you wear, it's not something that you drive, it's not even something that you live in. It's something that's a way that's working for you, that's like you said, the snowball effect is working in your face. Listen, the time is going to go by anyway. If you did this 10 years ago, if you done this 10 years ago, and I'm not no shout out to anybody that's starting older, because the time is now. If you started 10 years ago, we're not even having this conversation. And that's why John is urging us to start now. He's not trying to take your money. He's not saying, hey, pay me. He's telling you where to go on Fidelity, whatever, get a brokerage account, figure out your stock, put your money in, and let's go to work. And let's be
clear. I don't have a dog in the fight. I have nothing to gain here. I'm not. I don't.
And that's the beauty of this, people. That's the beauty of this. He doesn't. He's not. Look, I'm gonna be real. He's not charging us. This is a very. We could have charged people to be in this virtual platform in here listening to this, because people charge for this. And look, and they charge for this, and you get less information than you get right now. Let's just be honest with you.
Brian,
I'm telling you.
Ask any question right now. He's going to try to give you some guidance.
So watch this. As the questions come in here, Courtney and Brian, you both brought up good points, okay? When you say play the long game, and then you compare my little grandson that's 2 years old, he's a little toddler, and then me and Sharon, we're both over 60. There's plenty of time left for all of us. Watch this. Watch this. We didn't talk about this one yet. In the last 50 years, 82% of the S&P 500's total returns, that's the top 500 companies in the world, the S&P 500, 82% of their gains were from compound dividends.
Wow.
Right there.
There it is.
Game over right there.
Game
over.
So
that's your IBM, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola. I mean, all the big hitters are the S&P 500. So
this is what they're doing, y'all. Like we always talk, they not. Listen, this is what they're doing. whoever you say they are, the rich, the elite, the 1%, whatever, this is what they're doing. This is the game. This is the cheat code. This is your shortcut. This is the long cut. this is the way. Everybody, I'm telling you, this is the way. Figure this out. Figure this out along with the other stuff that you're doing. But figure this out.
We gonna do it together. This community, we building this community.
We taking you along the ride. We taking you along the ride.
Listen, we're gonna do it together. We're not gatekeeping. We giving you the information. All we ask is you support the movement. Yeah. People like John is taking his time out of his day. He don't have to be here. He's taking the time out of his day and he's giving us something very, very valuable, man. Let's treat it as such.
Check this out, you guys. One fast statistic, and I'll be quiet, I promise, because I know I'm wearing you out.
I know we're gonna probably wrap it up in like next 10 minutes because we don't want to.
The S&P 500 that I just mentioned, that's the top 500 companies in the world. The S&P 500, in the last 20 years, have a return of 10.4%. So a rule of thumb in investing, if you can get double digits return every year, like 10% or higher, that is phenomenal. So guess what? Buffett returned 19.9 in the same time frame. Double. 10.4%, the entire S&P. Warren Buffett got 19.9. You know, his company is called Berkshire Hathaway. He doubled it because of his compounded dividends. I mean, how many people in the world can put together a chart like this? Probably less than the fingers on one hand. Look at that.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And his best days weren't until after age 65. So my guess is, I can't see who's listening here, but whoever's in the audience here, my guess is most of them are under 65. If you start and just stay with it,
gotta stay with it.
Small increments. Okay, you got to read The Slight Edge. That's the greatest book ever written, The Slight Edge, because that whole concept is with tiny, tiny little habits every day and every week and every month, it can turn into an enormous accumulation if you give it a chance.
That's it.
You know, like anybody ever been to Charleston and seen that angel oak tree? That tree is what, 300 years old? It started with one little seed in the ground, and they left it alone. And look at it now. You know what I mean?
Now, one more question to wrap this up. I know it's good information, but we got some good news we're going to share with y'all as well. So I have one more question from AJ Johnson. It says, do you have any interest in electric power sourcing companies? Replacement of oil. It is a long-term investment, but what are your thoughts?
I probably am not even qualified to answer that because I simply don't know enough about it. Okay. I like to keep things simple. One of the best principles, you got to keep it in your circle of competence. In other words, things you know and understand. So for me, that's about 6 inches. Okay. After that, I don't understand technology. This AI is overwhelming me. But you know what? I can understand this Diet Coke. And I can understand Johnson & Johnson, and I can understand Bank of America, and I can understand, what do we got here? Procter & Gamble. I can understand what all these companies do, but when I start drifting into an area where there's an industry or company, I have no knowledge of really what they do. I have to put the pause button up and say, I'm sorry, I'm not qualified.
That's fair. Right. That's fair. Thank you for that. Thank you. That's real. And I like that. I appreciate your navigating that answer because most people, or not most people, but I'm saying some people will lean into it and try to give something that they didn't really believe in. So AJ, stick with what you know, go with the safe blue chips. And I think that is the core message in which you're sharing. Like, hey, don't, there's a lot of stock places. It's 500 of them, right? Go with the blue chips, study the ones that have had, small, sustainable gains over time, and the risky stuff, just play the long game. Just go with the big boys and just
slow and steady wins enormous.
So yes, we're gonna we want to figure. This is great. The good news is I want to share with everybody, and I think this is everything you needed to share. Yeah. the good news for everybody is that John, and I want y'all to put some love in the chat when I say this. I want whoever's in the chat, I want you to just show some love. He has agreed to come a few more times on this platform to share different topics, different knowledge. Some is going to be financial, some is going to be about life, about how you can navigate this world successfully and know what he knows. 40 plus years of experience of navigating business, marketing, sales, real estate, being a co-author, all of those things. He's going to come on here and share a few topics with you all. And all he asks is you show up and be ready to learn, ask some questions like you're doing tonight. He has agreed. Now, this is supposed to be a one-time thing. He pop in, share some knowledge, share some. There's his sheet right there. He has a lot of topics, but he has promised that he's going to come at least 3 more times to share some of those topics, some of those best practices, some of his experiences through life and business, through life itself. And just some things that has helped him navigate his successful path. So I want us all to clap it up, show some love in here. We got Mr. DeSmedt coming back more. He's going to give you more. He's going to empty his cup on this platform. And again, like Brian said, we're not gatekeeping. We could have easily said, you know what, John, you give them one session and we're going to get the other 3 with us. We're not going to do that. But we said, nah. This platform is gonna be a premier platform for people like John to come in, that want to give back, that want to share his knowledge, that want to share his expertise. And I love the Q&A, because sometimes some people can present to you and it can go over your head and you can leave there more confused than you were when you know what I'm saying, before you got the information. So the live Q&A, ladies and gentlemen, come with questions. Ask those questions. Come on stage. Like, this is your opportunity to get some game-changing, life-changing advice so you can go back to your home and start living and acting and reacting differently. Like today, I'm literally, when I get off this call, I'm going to be looking up stocks. I'm going to look into these blue chips. I'm going to really figure out where I can have some wiggle room with my money. And I'm going to start putting that money in places. I'm also going to look for my kids. Yep. If you leave here, you got kids, go ahead and start that head start now. Like John said, don't wait. The more you wait, you missing out on thousands and thousands of dollars down the line. The longer you wait, start now. You can't worry about 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I should have did this. I could have win this. Start now.
Well, think about what school's going to cost in 18 years. It's not
cheap. It's going up. No, it's going up.
What it's going to cost in 18 years.
In-state tuition is going up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
hey, and this is what this platform is for. It's not for us. It's for the people. It's for the community. Good. And that's why we built this platform, man. It's for you. So anytime we have an open discussion like this and you want to join the panel and you have questions and you have something to give to the people, to the platform, you're more than welcome. On behalf of My Brother's Keeper podcast, we're going to go ahead and try to wrap this thing up. But John, we thank you, brother. We love you. Thank you for coming on, man, and sharing the wealth of knowledge that you have for us and our audience. But yeah, he will be back. Everybody, he will be back.
Guys. Sure. I sure appreciate you having me and bearing with me, and hopefully it did some good. But you know, another good thing is to have a session where it's just questions from the previous and do like a mini workshop.
See
this. See that's what I usually do, because I do tons of mastermind sessions in real estate, investing. So like we all get, let's see, 10, 15, 20 people. We roll up our sleeves and then have them come with questions.
Oh man. Yeah, y'all. Man, look, I don't know. I don't even know. Like I never want to delay gratitude. So all I can say, all I can muster up is thank you. And we appreciate you in advance for today, in advance for what you're going to give the people that's tuning in. So thank you so much. I know you had a long day, y'all. He left like a conference. He's been going all day at like a conference, and like he Like, it wasn't like he was sitting around twiddling his thumbs all day. He literally left one thing that he was there for like 8 hours and then hopped on here and gave us even more game. So thank you so much for that. You didn't have to. We are excited to see you, connect with you in the weeks to come. We already are looking forward to that already. So let's just get to that. So thank you so much. Anything you want to tell the people before you get out of here?
I'm delighted to be here. And if this was helpful to anybody, what I would just encourage is jot down as many questions or comments as you have.
There you go.
Get them to Courtney and Brian, or let's do them on the next session.
We'll get them.
When you build a house, it starts with one brick at a time.
Yeah.
So we're going to build a house here, and hopefully everybody can take advantage of this house. Okay?
There it is. I love it. Thank you so much.
All your time very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Care, guys.
Have a great evening, John.
Right. Hello.
Yo. Hey, that was
Hey, look, we
John
tried
came with it. John came with it.
I sent out the messages. We made the posts. We sent it to family. We sent it to friends. Like that is, and again, people, that was just A and B and C. We didn't even really get into the, like, it's more. That was just a tip of the iceberg. He was just setting the scene for what's to come. And I hope at the very, very least, it got you thinking at home, like, what can I do differently with my money? I hope you take inventory of the shoes you got in your closet. Because some of y'all want to be rich or want to be millionaires, and you're sitting on your millions in the closet, in your shoe closet. And I'm saying that respectfully because I'm in that category too. If I would have spent the money I spent on shoes just in 2025, Brian, just in 2025, I'll be up about 6 figures. I'll be up 6 figures.
But
so it's not
like you say, it's not too late.
It's not too late. So let's go on this journey together, people. Let's all go on this journey together and say, you know what? Where can I put $50 aside this week? Where can I put $20 aside this week? Where can I reinvest my dividends at?
There you go.
And really start playing this long game. And then ultimately about these kids. We spend so much on these kids, on these celebrations and all these other things. I'm telling you, that's the move. That's the wealth. That's everybody. They get, they doing this. They got this. No, they just got information and they utilizing the information and it's working.
But you know what's crazy?
What's that?
A lot of people can't believe it. Like, is it really that simple? Nah, it's really that simple. It's really that, bro. I'm telling you, it's really that simple. You just have to move your money and put it in the right places and let your money work for you.
For you, period. It's just that simple.
Put it right there.
Yep.
Invest it and let your money work for you. Stop working for money and let your money work for you. That's it. And we're gonna do it together. We ain't gatekeeping. So no gatekeeping in 2026. We giving everybody free game. Listen, the information that you received tonight, people charge for that. You got
just
it
for that.
On my brother.
He didn't even go deep just for that. No. He didn't even go like people will. Hey, it's $100 a head to be in the room. It's $100 a head to be in the virtual room to get that information right there. And he didn't even. He was just the tip. He was just giving you the elementary root of the okay. This is the what. He gave you the what. He's gonna go into the how and the when and the where. Trust me. He just gave you the what is this, why you should do it. So anyway, let's go ahead and tee up next week. We're not stopping, y'all. We're not stopping. We're not stopping. Listen, y'all thought we were gonna start high, and then we're gonna dip off a little bit. No. I'm telling you, this platform will be premier with the voices, with the knowledge, with the stories. You will be informed, you will be educated, and you will be empowered every time you leave a virtual guest speaker session. I'm telling you. and we have another mover, activist, community leader, mentor. He's your mentor's mentor, your coach's coach. Like, he's doing the work. He's been doing the work for decades. Mr. Eddie Love was the first person, the true story, he was the first person that I met in Charlotte that was in this life coaching, mentoring, living legacy space. He was the first one, and he was in college. He been doing this for decades. So when I'm telling you, he's an author, 2-time author, 3-time author, if I'm not mistaken. Leader, speaker, coach. He's coming this Sunday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. I'm telling you, he's coming. He's coming. And we are excited for him to wrap it up. It's time to go, y'all. You got to go home.
We're going to go wrap this thing on up.
You got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Until the next time, let's ride.